Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Golden Bachelor Mel Owens reflects on his journey and Michigan roots. This was probably a top 3 experience of my life. My kids being born, that's an experience unto itself. Then playing for Michigan is 2, and the Golden Bachelor is 3. Above playing for the Rams. I ask Mel Owens, the Season 2 Golden Bachelor, in a quaint cafe in his hometown of Detroit. He nods, and even to me, this seems high praise. Mel played on the 1980 Big Ten Conference Championship team with my uncle. My dad went on to play for Michigan 10 years later, and, as a Michigan graduate myself, I'm well aware of how deep the Michigan connection runs. I met Mel at a football alumni of Michigan tailgate for the Michigan vs. Washington game, where he was donning his 1980 championship team gear. I spotted him from across the tent, and he carried an air of confidence about him that screamed both, I played a huge role in that historic season back in 1980, and I'm the Golden Bachelor. I got to hang out with Mel 2 more times that week, once at a watch party for the hometown's episode of his Golden Bachelor season, and the second time at that cafe in Detroit, where we got to chat a little more in depth about his time both growing up in and playing for Michigan, his experience as the Golden Bachelor, and, of course, music. Given his conference championship-winning career at the University of Michigan, which subsequently led to an 8-year NFL career with the LA Rams, Mel Owens is certainly no stranger to the spotlight. When I was in the NFL, I was really young, and as a first-round draft pick, there's a lot of attention on you. Owens' stellar career at Michigan led to him being selected as the 9th overall pick in the 1981 NFL Draft by the LA Rams. There's a lot of scrutiny. They put their first pick on you, so it matters. All eyes are on you, and it's all about if you perform. You have to live up to expectations, and you got to do it for, hopefully, a long period of time because you're the guy they drafted. Fast forward a few decades, and any scrutiny he received in the NFL is no longer much of a factor. His fame died down just a bit, only to be reinvigorated when he was named to be the 2nd ever Golden Bachelor. Mel, the football player, didn't have grey hair. You know, Mel the Bachelor has grey hair, he laughed, thinking about the comparison between his earlier fame and his newfound fame. When I'm playing football, I watch it back, and I know when I screw up, so I'll think, okay, here comes a bad play. As any professional is, Owens is definitely critical of himself. When it's unscripted, football or the Golden Bachelor, that's just who you are. So you can train better and execute better, and with the show, you can do that, too. But there's no redo. You're gonna have another game next week, but I don't get to see how I am on the show until it's all finished. One of the producers of the show was a Michigan alumnus, which helped Owen settle in quite nicely. He's a great guy, and we got along great. He was a Michigan man, that's the connection. It's one of the reasons you go to Michigan. We're worldwide. If you're lucky enough to go to the University of Michigan, I mean you hit the gold mine. He spoke with a true love and passion for the university that shaped him, as well as so many others over the course of its 200-plus-year history. A lot of the opportunities and experiences in my life that have just naturally happened have led to bigger ones, which led to even bigger ones. And it snowballs. And that's how my life has been. It's been charmed. He continued with gratitude. It's not so much that the Golden Bachelor changed my life, or like I went from nothing to something, but it all just compounds. The Golden Bachelor is a moniker that's gonna be with me forever. Yeah, I'll still be a football player, but I stopped playing football. When you're the Golden Bachelor, you're gonna be scrutinized for whatever you do. The public scrutiny, while not entirely new to Mel Owens, is a little different this time around. If you get married again, you get divorced, you never get married, you're girlfriends. That's just how the Bachelor and the Golden Bachelor franchise is. Having played for the University of Michigan, a professional career in the NFL, and growing up in Detroit at the height of Motown, Owens wasn't exaggerating when he said he's been charmed in life. I've been fortunate to have a lot of cool experiences, and this is a really unique one. The third greatest experience of his life behind his kids being born and playing for Michigan, and it was made even sweeter by the fact that he's gotten to share it with both his kids and the people who've been by his side since his time at Michigan. My youngest son, Andre, he already knows who the last two were because he was in the promo. He's known it for 6 weeks, so today after the show, he goes, "I'm so disappointed in you. You let Deb go." I'm like, "Bro, you've known for 6 weeks." Owens explained that Andre is really into the show, that he watches with his girlfriend and her parents every week. If you watch by yourself, you have your own thoughts, but with other people, there will be comments like, "Whoa, what is that? Is your dad really like that? What do you think your dad would do here?" So you're getting more input from people, alluding that his younger son may be more into it because of the communal aspect of watching. Overall, I think they both thoroughly enjoy it. They were in the promo, too, so they were on the show. When it comes to his former teammates at Michigan, it seems to be the same story. I've got the greatest friends in the world. They are so supportive, and they are genuinely happy for me. They are there with me on this journey, and it makes me feel great. When you're a kid growing up in a house across the way from Diana Ross, it's pretty much inevitable that music will play a sizable role in your life. Mel Owens and his 2 brothers used to play baseball in their yard. Diana lived with her mom. That's my recollection. She was a teenager at the time. We'd hit the ball into her yard, and whoever gave up that home run had to go get the ball. Of course, then, he was a Diana Ross fan from a young age, and the rest is history. Once we got into it, Owens started listing off dozens of artists from his music library, boasting a massive variety, from Bruce Springsteen to Aretha Franklin, Billy Idol to Ray, George Michael, Dr. Dre, Chuck Berry, The Clash, and Casey and the Sunshine Band, who he was able to see perform live on the show for a one-on-one date with Peg, one of the women he still has left in the final show. Owens didn't have access to his phone. He'd start each day with a run in the morning, but without his phone, he had no music to accompany him. It was tough for the first 3 or 4 days, but I embraced it. I'd never gone on intense runs like that, but you just get lost in your own thoughts. His runs became meditative, and a way for him to get in and maintain shape, both physically and mentally. When I ran, I'd think about what was going on in the show, like what I can do better, who the women are, just mental and spiritual stuff. But when they gave my phone back, and we got on the plane from Antigua going to Miami, I stuck my AirPods in and just pushed play. He didn't choose a song, an artist, or an album. He just pressed play. When I asked him what came on, he told me he didn't even remember, but that it was so good. As an athlete, too, Motown wasn't the only aspect of Detroit's peak that resonated with Owens. His dad was a baseball coach who had actually coached a handful of players who went on to play for the Detroit Tigers. He told me a story from when he was about 10 years old, at a Tigers game in Detroit. We got to go down to the locker room quite often after the game, and I remember Denny McLain was the last 30-game winner in the major leagues, and I wanted an autograph. My dad goes, "Just go ask him." So he's walking out of the locker room, down the tunnel, and I went over and said, "Hey, Mr. McLean, will you sign my program?" And he goes, "No, I'm not gonna sign it." Shocked and devastated, he said his dad turned this into a lesson. I came back. I don't know if I was crying or not, but I know I didn't feel good. I told my dad he didn't sign it, and he goes, "When you make it to the pros, make sure you sign them all." And I never forgot that. He explained that when he did make it to the pros, there was a secret tunnel for players to take back to their cars after the game, and he never took that path, instead opting to walk right through the crowd. Now, when I'm doing the Bachelor thing, and they recognize me, ask me for a picture, I always embrace. I was in Joe Louis restaurant here in Detroit, and I heard a woman go, "Whoa, that's the Golden Bachelor." And I went right over to her. I took a couple of pictures, sat down with the party, took some more pictures, because that's what I should be doing. That's what the Bachelor should be doing, and I enjoy doing it. Because if someone recognizes me, I want to make every effort for them to come over and engage with me. If I can, I will. He reiterated how much it means to him and how much he enjoys engaging with the people who are fans of his, whether it be from his career as an athlete or as the Golden Bachelor. Mel's journey as the Golden Bachelor has been quite a labor of love, and as it coincides with football season, he's had quite a busy autumn. Tune in this evening for the Women Tell All on ABC at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, before he hands out his final rose next week on the season finale of The Golden Bachelor.